You know what they say in the hood? When the journey gets tough, the rats become noticeable. The hood never told a lie. Word on the street is there is a big rat in the house meant for only the family. In this video, Lil Durk's lawyer reveals he is snitching against OTF members. Betrayal in the gang. The saddest thing about betrayal is that it never comes from an enemy. It is always from a close friend, someone in the circle, someone you trust. But here is the tragedy. Finding trust and loyalty is a costly assumption on the street. In a shocking turn of events following rapper Lil Durk's arrest on federal charges of murder for hire, it appears there is a rat in only the family where trust and loyalty were the order of the game. Who would have thought that Lil Durk's arrest was made possible because he was snitched on by one of his own? Right now, there are some reports, like one from the Express Tribune, that Durk was actually allegedly ratted on by an OTF member who dedicated quite some years of his life secretly connecting his boss Lil Durk with the attempted murder of Quando Rando, which led to the murder of Lil Pap. Many things have gone down on the street, but I assure you that this recent development met the industry in total shock. The informant, identified as OTF member Jam, allegedly wore a hidden wire for several years to gather evidence for authority. OTF Jam, who was released from prison in 2022 after serving 12 years for attempted murder, reportedly provided information directly linking the biggest fish, Lil Durk, to the murder-for-hire scheme against Rondo, born Tiquian Terrell Bowman. Say Cheese was one of the first people to report on social media the in-house betrayal of gangster rapper Lil Durk. He tweeted, "Lil Durk's snitch was an OTF member and he was exposed for wearing a wire. OTF Jam allegedly wore a wire for multiple years. He previously served a 12-year sentence." As soon as the news hit the internet, a series of controversies was sparked, with most people wondering how OTF Jam was able to hide the wire without being noticed for several years. Humorously, someone responded, "He was hiding the wire in that big forehead." Another user tried to offer some clarity, saying they don't use wires nowadays. Instead, cops give you a small voice recorder that's real sensitive and you just have to put it in your pocket. However, this user's opinion seemed to be up to date with technological advancement. It says, "A wire, my opinion, not a fact, but every device around you is considered a wire. You don't necessarily have to wear a movie wire. Your phone is the wire, I believe." Well, to be honest, using wire to rat sounds like some old school rat thing. I believe technology has moved forward and so have rats. In a recent interview with Vlad TV, music executive and rapper Wack 100 discussed the arrest of Lil Durk and the fact that an OTF member allegedly informed on him. On DJ Vlad's show, when the host brought up OTF member Jam, who reportedly acted as an FBI informant over the past 2 years, Wack 100 commented that it was crazy how Jam got out of jail after 12 years, granted interviews where he declared himself loyal, and was showered with gifts and respect from OTF Durk, only for him to flip.
Did 12 years.
12
got
years.
out, interviewed, said he kept it real, brought him cars, gave him 50,000.
Right.
This. Made mention that ain't no smut on his name. He ain't never been a rat. Caught a gun case, but eventually he flipped.
DJ Vlad added that Jam served a 12-year prison sentence for attempted murder, supposedly from 2010. He was released in 2022, coinciding with the time of Lil Pab's murder. Since then, Jam has allegedly been wearing a recording device to collect information on Lil Durk and OTF, which has ultimately led to the recent arrests. Interestingly, just like music executive Wack 100 mentioned, this apparent betrayal within OTF has drawn significant attention. Jam's covert role has sparked widespread speculation and debate within the hip-hop community. Amidst Lil Durk's arrest and the discovery of a rat in a household meant for only the family, a 2023 interview with OTF Jam has resurfaced. In the interview with DJ Jerry, Jam opened up about his long-standing relationship with Durk and the support he received while incarcerated. OTF. Jam recounted how Lil Durk's music helped him to stay motivated and how the rapper supported him with money and the like while in jail. He said, "I remember Durk was making rap songs for our parties," he added. "That was bro, back before the fame and the money. He made a way for me to be straight." Although OTF Jam did not talk about his alleged communication with the FBI to bring Lil Durk down, his reflection about jail revealed the deep connection, trust, and loyalty between him and Lil Durk before legal trouble separated them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was broke. I'm saying my whole time in jail, that stayed broke, like before the money. You know what I'm saying? That was broke. Like, I remember when the money wasn't there, supposed to be $50,000. I got you, man. Gave my lawyer money and everything when I filed my case. I ain't gonna lie, Durk come through. Right after OTF Jam was released from jail, there was a rumor that Lil Durk gave him $50,000 to put his life in order and settle his lawyers. I think Lil Durk even rapped about it in one of his songs, which I can't currently remember. Anyways, OTF Jam was asked about the rumor in the same interview, and he confirmed it to be true. Evidently, when OTF Jam was released from jail and got welcomed back into the family, a rat was welcomed into the house. Unfortunately, Lil Durk could not smell a rat in his own circle. Well, to be honest, smelling a rat is not easy, especially if the rat was in with you on most of the crimes you have been committing. Someone said, to be betrayed by a childhood friend after you looked out for him, and then wearing wearing the wire around Durk is insane. It'd be the closest ones to you, and I agree. It can only be called betrayal when it comes from someone you call a friend. After all, no one expects any form of loyalty from an enemy. Here is a user giving a detailed analysis of Jam's betrayal and what it means for him on the streets. You have a dude that's been down for 12 years. Durk, as a real dude, been feeding him steak the whole time 12 years, treating him good. Dude come home after 12 years to a lifestyle he was only imagining in his head for the last 12 years. Dude then get caught with a firearm. He's a convicted felon, probably a violent convicted felon. So that firearm charge may carry a couple years. On top of that, dude will have a probation violation due to catching the charge. Let's say they give him 5 for the gun and 3 for the violation. To a normal street dude, that's a hard pill to swallow, but to someone from the bottom that done became accustomed to a certain lifestyle after coming from nothing, that 8 years ain't gonna sit right with them. He added, the feds is not gonna keep his family safe. His family don't have a Durk to give them $50K to change their surroundings or ensure their safety. It's gonna cost that snitch more than what he was trying to preserve. Aha, it seems OTF Jam did not think this part through, unless of course, if the feds promised security for him and his family. The news of Lil Durk's betrayal by one of his own has sparked a series of reactions, with most people questioning the loyalty of the gang. This prompted a lot of people to ask about the meaning of the acronym OTF and what it represents for the members of the family. Apparently, as we all know, OTF stands for Only the Family, and it's not a coincidence that most people associated with OTF are affiliates of the Black Disciple Street Gang. From the lyrics of their songs and the mode of operation of the gang, we could easily say that OTF represents family over everything. Now here's the thing, family here does not refer to people who are related by blood or some sort of cousins. No, the family in OTF refers to a group of people related through their shared struggle and the unending desire to survive on the street where a loner is weak. Lil Durk created OTF on the grounds of trust, and I think this explains why he never doubted OTF Jam when he was released from jail and claimed he came out straight. Also, it explains why Lil Durk felt obligated to slide for King Von, because in the family, they watch out for each other. Now here is the big question. Why did OTF Jam break the family code and snitch on his boss, who supported him through his bleak years? According to reports, OTF Jam was convicted of a shooting in 2010, served 12 years in prison, and was released in February of 2022. Police records obtained by XXL show he was arrested again on a warrant in May of 2023 in connection to the same charge. Although the status of his current charge is unclear, we could easily speculate that he gave up his boss and shattered the family so he would not go back to jail. Does this mean that prison broke OTF Jam? I mean, prison could break anyone else, but loyalty was supposed to be intact. Well, the street says it is deeper than that. Word on the street is that Lil Durk had OTF Jam's child's mother killed because Durk found out Jam was wearing a wire, and that Durk also had a man killed in retaliation for his brother D-Thang's killing. Poetic Flacco broke the rumor on social media saying, the feds believe Lil Durk paid to get these two people killed. 1. Stefan Mack, who killed Lil Durk's brother D-Thang. 2. OTF Jam's baby mom was killed because Lil Durk found out he wore a wire around him. Feds think OTF Jam is the key to putting Lil Durk in jail for all 3 bodies. However, I have not found any substantial evidence to validate this rumor. Interestingly, while surfing the internet searching for updates about OTF Jam and why he ratted on the OTF founder, I found this. An internet troll sparked by a resurfaced footage showing snacking on McDonald's in what looks like an interrogation room, and fans are alleging that he was snitching on Lil Durk while eating McDonald's. Hilariously, it was DJ Academics who instigated the trolling by asking his followers to caption the image, and without wasting time, his fans opened the floodgates of trolling. One comment reads, "Bro snitched on Durk for a Big Mac and fries," and another added, "You're probably wondering how I got here." Unfortunately, while OTF Jam was enjoying his Big Mac and fries with a wired body like an electric pole, his boss, Lil Durk, was about to meet his bleak with federal agents, leading to his arrest in connection to a murder for hire charge. Lil Durk's arrest.
And rapper Lil Durk has been arrested and charged with a murder for hire plot. The Chicago native, whose real name is Durk Banks, was arrested in Florida by the U.S. Marshals Service. The 32-year-old's arrest comes as 5 other people in Chicago were arrested in connection with the investigation.
The industry was startled by the news that rapper Lil Durk, whose real name is Durk Banks, was arrested and is facing a federal charge for an alleged murder for hire plot connected to the death of Lil Pab, Quando Rondo's cousin. I know that you are beginning to connect the dots, but hold on. Let me explain something for you real quick. Lil Durk's arrest comes after federal prosecutors in California indicted 5 individuals believed to be members of Lil Durk's Only the Family, OTF, crew. The charges claim these men arranged to travel across state lines to carry out the alleged attack against Quando Rondo's circle in 2022.
There are now 5 people in custody who weren't in custody before. 5 people who were alleged to have committed a murder in broad daylight in the middle of the afternoon in the city of Chicago.
Here is the gist. Federal agents swooped in and arrested 5 men in connection to the August 2022 shooting in Los Angeles that killed Quando Rondo's cousin, and they're being charged with conspiracy to murder for hire in retaliation for King Von's death. Apparently, as it turned out, it appears the feds have been looking for a substantial link connecting the big fish Lil Durk to the murder for hire charge labeled on his affiliates. Somehow, the feds knew the crime was a continuation of the tragic events that unfolded in 2020 at the premises of Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta, which led to the death of Lil Durk's bestie, King Von. Now, I think the feds need no informant to tell them that if it concerns King Von's death, Lil Durk definitely called the shots. I think the feds only needed someone to implicate him, providing substantial evidence of Lil Durk's involvement in the retaliation attack. Yes, we can say that OTF Jam is that person. And because Jam is a close circle affiliate of Lil Durk, there would be no limit to the range of information the feds have gathered from Jam's wiretapped body. It's no wonder, as soon as the feds got what they wanted, Lil Durk was hit with the most devastating events of his career.
Durk has been locked up in Broward County Jail. He's there right now. This is this. Yes, Broward. He's in Florida. I got the whole thing on. Look on my stream. I got it. Oh my God, bro.
As expected, DJ Academics was among the first people to break the news of Durk's arrest to the industry. After making a video about the situation, he tweeted, "Breaking, Lil Durk has been arrested by U.S. Marshals and held in Broward County Correctional Facility until he's extradited to California for his federal charge. His charge is murder for hire for the death of Quando Rondo's cousin, Lil Pab." According to reports, Lil Durk was arrested by U.S. Marshals on Thursday and is currently being held in the Broward County Correctional Facility in Florida. Police records show the 32-year-old rapper is being detained without the option of bail and awaits extradition to California to face federal charges. His mugshot has been released. Here is the backstory. Lil Durk founded the label Only the Family, OTF, in 2010. He claims that OTF is not a gang after federal charges were filed against 5 men associated with OTF on October 17th, alleging they tried to kill Rondo in 2022 for his alleged involvement in the 2020 shooting death of rapper King Von. The men named in the suit are Kayvon London Grant, DeAndre Dontrell Wilson, Keith Jones, David Bryan Lindsay, and Asa Houston. Although Lil Durk was not named as a defendant in the October 17th suit, his arrest by federal agents has been confirmed to be connected to the murder for hire charge. The indictment charged 5 people for the murder of Lil Pap, but it gets deeper than that. Check this out.
It says, the charges include conspiracy to murder for hire, committing murder for hire involving a death, and the use of a machine gun in a violent crime resulting in death.
Interesting times are ahead because the indictment points to a well-coordinated plan involving alleged OTF affiliates who reportedly placed a bounty on Quando Rondo. Instead, his cousin Lil Pab was killed. Allegedly, members of OTF used a credit card linked to the record label to purchase plane tickets, enabling them to travel from Chicago to California after learning Quando Rondo's location. Now let's connect some dots. The 5 men named in the federal indictment are accused of carrying out the shooting as part of a larger scheme involving alleged OTF gang activity. The indictment suggests these men intended to retaliate against Quando Rondo, whom they reportedly believed to be connected to the tragic death of rapper King Von in 2020. In the complaint that was unsealed last Friday, prosecutors established their case against Lil Durk and his label, accusing Only the Family of being not just a music organization but also a hybrid organization. That doubles as a criminal enterprise that has committed evil and vile things at the direction of banks. Durk is referred to as Banks in the indictment. Prosecutors allege that one of those criminal activities was the 2020 attempted murder of rapper Quando Rondo, allegedly plotted in retaliation for the 2020 killing of rapper King Von, Lil Durk's friend. Interestingly, both the new charges and the previous indictment allege that the 5 men were behind the 2022 shooting that took Quando Rondo's cousin. But in the latest charges, prosecutors directly accused Lil Durk of ordering the 2022 shooting, saying it was retaliation for a 2020 Atlanta shooting in which a Rondo associate allegedly shot and killed King Von. Prosecutors claimed that at the time of the murder, TB had a public feud with Banks. The feud stemmed from a November 6, 2020, where an associate of TB shot and killed an OTF rapper named Davon Bennett, aka King Von. Bennett was a member of OTF and Banks' close friend, they added. The latest filing also alleged that Lil Durk was planning to vacate the country when he was arrested. It was reported that following the arrest of 5 OTF members, prosecutors received notification that Lil Durk had secured commercial flights to Dubai, United Arab Emirates, and Switzerland. Unfortunately, he never boarded either. The FBI allegedly got information that Lil Durk booked passage on a private jet to Italy, where he was arrested just before hopping on the flight. When Cat Williams said this year is the year of truth, I thought he had just come back from the future at the time because it seems as though only the family is on the path to RICO. Again, in a not so shocking turn of events, the new filing appears to implicate OTF as an organization. According to the indictment, co-conspirator 1 would place a bounty on individuals that co-conspirator 1 and other OTF members wanted to kill, including TB. Quando Rondo is referred to as TB. It proceeds to allege that as part of the bounty, co-conspirators known and unknown, including defendant Wilson, would pay anyone who took part in the killing of TB and or reward individuals with lucrative music opportunities with OTF. Oh no, dude, Lil Durk is so cooked. I think Lil Durk is referenced in the indictment as co-conspirator 3. Check this out. Using a credit card associated with OTF, co-conspirator 3 would purchase airline tickets for the co-conspirators to fly to California and murder TB. Prosecutors say the same credit card was used to book hotel accommodations for the assailants, and the card was allegedly issued under a bank account that listed Durk's one-time manager as an owner. It was also reported that another credit card was issued under the same account to Lil Durk's father. But then, how did the plan go? Well, according to the reports, it went south. The indictment confirms that defendant Jones and Lindsay and co-conspirator 2 would fire multiple shots at TB, killing SR, who was a passenger in TB's vehicle. If you have been following this gist, then you need no interpreter to tell you that SR is Lil Pap. Now, if you remember, after the attack on Quando Rondo's camp killing Lil Pap, word on the street was someone snitched on Rondo's location. So the big question now is who snitched? But before you go beating yourself over that puzzle, let's look at how the indictment described the tragic events of the day. According to the feds, the killer squad, using 2 cars, including one without a registered license plate, worked in tandem to track, stalk, and attempt to murder TB at a gas station located in Los Angeles. During the attack, the conspirators allegedly fired at least 18 rounds at TB's vehicle, several of which hit and killed Lil Pap. After the deed was done, prosecutors reported that the killer squad later assembled at a restaurant where they scrambled payment for the attack and then made one last mistake. At dawn, they allegedly used the same OTF-linked credit card to obtain flight tickets to Chicago. One more thing, take a look at how the indictment connected the crime to the 2020 murder of King Von.
Here it is. It says, the charges mark the latest fallout from the high-profile killing of King Von. They connecting it. They connecting dots.
What this means is that prosecutors have reasons to believe the case has deeper roots in a long-standing conflict. The altercation between Quando Rondo's crew and King Von in 2020 ended with Von's tragic death in Atlanta, fueling a wave of tension between Rondo's camp and Von's OTF associates. This newly revealed murder-for-hire plot is believed to be a continuation of the retaliation following Von's death. Here's the thing. When I was researching this case, I came across a comment from a user that is significant for its subject. And the stuff you spend your time with. This is particularly true of Lil, because the OTF founder went from having a great year at the beginning of the year to rapidly catching a charge that might put him behind bars for life if convicted. Let me give you a little recap of what this month was like for Lil Durk before his arrest.
So, Durk Banks, also known as Lil Durk. It brings me great honor and pleasure as the mayor of the Village of Broadview to present this key. And so on behalf of the Village of Broadview, we are honored to present this key to the city, to Durk Banks Neighborhood Heroes.
The All My Life rapper gets honored near his hometown for his work with his Neighborhood Heroes Foundation. The Grammy Award-winning rapper was awarded multiple keys to the city, including Village of Broadview and Village of Bellwood. This prestigious honor is added to the long list of accolades that the self-proclaimed voice of the trenches has received in the last few years. In a shocking turn of events, the key to the city that Lil Durk received just a week ago was revoked following his arrest. On Friday, Broadview Mayor Katrina Thompson took back fact the honorary key that officials of the Chicago Village presented to Durk on October 18th after news broke that U.S. Marshals had arrested the rapper in Florida for an alleged murder conspiracy. In addition to rescinding the key, Broadview officials terminated their partnership with Durk's nonprofit organization, the Neighborhood Heroes Foundation. The mayor highlighted that although the American system of justice presumes everyone is innocent until proven guilty, in the village of Broadview, the court of public opinion of residents has even higher moral and ethical standards of behavior. This is just a glimpse of the consequences of gang life. Your legacy will be tarnished, and more likely you end up behind bars if you are lucky. However, if you are unlucky, just like King Von, the consequences of gang life will get you boxed 6 feet underground. Some people still look back at the events of Von's and wonder if it was worth his life. Let me take you a little back to 5 years ago when life and freedom were underrated. The events of November 6, 2020 began like any other for King Von and his crew. They were at the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta, a popular spot for nightlife. Meanwhile, Quando Rondo and his entourage were also present at the venue. The atmosphere was charged and tensions were high, though no one could have predicted the tragic events that were about to unfold. As the night progressed, an argument broke out between the two groups. Surveillance footage captured the moment when King Von approached Quando Rondo outside the nightclub. Swiftly, Von threw the first punch, igniting a violent brawl between the two entourages. The situation quickly climaxed out of control as fists flew and chaos erupted. During the fight, Timothy Lil Tim Leaks, Quando Rondo's day one homie, allegedly pulled out a gun and let out shots. King Von was struck multiple times and the scene became chaotic, with people scattering in all directions as gunfire echoed through the night. Von's crew attempted to rush him to safety, but the damage had already been done. King Von was critically injured and rushed to a nearby hospital. Despite the efforts of medical personnel, he succumbed to his injuries later that night. Lil Tim was arrested at the scene and charged with the murder of King Von. He was later released on a $100,000 bond, a decision that sparked outrage among Von's supporters. Quando Rondo, who was present during the altercation, vehemently denied any involvement in the shooting. In subsequent interviews, he claimed that he did not know King Von personally and had never had any issues with him. Quando maintained that he and his crew were merely defending themselves during the altercation. Today, 5 years later, the consequences of the events that unfolded at the Monaco Hooker Lounge are still in play in the lives of those affected. King Von is dead and gone. Quando Rondo and his crew still live in fear of retaliation and the grief of losing a loved one. And the latest, Lil Durk, likely facing life imprisonment for his alleged role. If you love this video, then click the card showing on your screen for more videos like this.